12 things I wish I knew about cruise ship casinos. Before I sailed, I walked into my first cruise ship casino thinking it worked just like the ones on land. And within 24 hours, I'd already made 3 mistakes the casino counted on me to make. What I learned afterwards completely changed how I gamble at sea, and it's probably going to change how you do too. Because here's the truth. Cruise ship casinos look familiar, but behind the scenes, they run on different timings, different psychology, and different incentives. And that affects everything from how fast you lose money, to the perks you can unlock, to whether you walk out feeling lucky or frustrated. By the end of this video, you'll know the 12 things I wish someone told me before I ever stepped on board, including the biggest misconception almost every cruiser has, and the one strategy that can save your entire bankroll. Before we even step into the casino, there's a truth about cruise ship gambling that almost nobody realizes until it's too late. And once you understand it, your entire mindset at sea completely changes. 1. The moment the casino actually becomes legal, and why it matters. Have you ever wondered why the casino stays locked until the ship is miles from shore? The moment a cruise crosses into international waters, the entire rulebook flips. Your odds, the house advantage, even the types of games allowed, can shift instantly. That boundary line changes everything. If you walk in too early or too late, you're playing under dramatically different conditions without realizing it. Timing your first play is leverage. The rule is simple. Wait until the seas open up, then decide your pace. Winning begins with timing. 2. Why shipboard slots feel hotter? Until they suddenly aren't. Cruise ship slots often feel incredibly generous during your first night, and that's intentional. Casinos know passengers explore early, so a streak of small, fast wins nudges you into returning later in the week. But the payout pattern can flip sharply as traffic increases, especially on sea days when foot traffic surges. This shift is subtle but powerful. Many players never notice the pivot until their balance collapses. Your best move? Play lightly when the ship is full, heavier when most guests are distracted. Dual timing, dual advantage, bigger control. Momentum is never random. This next part is where most first-time cruisers unknowingly fall into the casino's biggest psychological trap. And the crazy part is, it happens even if you think you're playing smart. 3. The hidden hours. When the casino is most generous. Picture this. It's late, the ship is quiet, and the casino suddenly feels softer. Not looser, but more welcoming. Cruise lines know exactly when players drift in, usually after shows, dinners, and deck parties. Those slow windows create natural incentive moments where machines cycle longer, dealers rotate fresher, and you get more hands per hour without competition. Fewer players means less chaos and more consistency. Quiet casinos reward patience. Your advantage spikes when the crowd disappears. Low volume, higher clarity, better decisions. Late nights sharpen opportunity. 4. The psychological layout designed to make you stay longer. The first time I walked into a cruise casino, I didn't notice how cleverly it pulled me in until I realized I'd been wandering in circles without ever hitting an exit. Cruise casinos use curved pathways, angled slots, and subtle lighting to guide your movement just like land casinos, but in an even tighter environment where escape routes feel invisible. That design keeps you comfortable but also distracted from the clock. When your sense of direction fades, so does your sense of risk. Before you sit down, decide exactly where you'll stop. Boundary first, action second. Control beats comfort. Veteran cruisers know this trick by heart, but newcomers almost never figure it out on their first trip. And understanding it instantly puts you in a better position than 90% of players on board. 5. The loyalty trick cruise lines actually reward. Here's the strategy almost no first-time cruiser understands. Cruise casinos care far more about consistency than big wins or losses. Playing small but steady sessions signals reliability, and reliability triggers comps faster than chasing huge jackpots. Cruise lines track time and seat, average bet, and how often you return, not whether you walked away with profit. 100 tiny bets matter more than one monster hand. It's counterintuitive, but wildly effective. Set a small, repeatable pattern. Time plus steadiness equals recognition, rewards. Predictability pays. 6. The port day paradox, when almost no one plays. And why you should. Why are port days secretly some of the best times to gamble? Because nearly everyone else is off the ship, leaving the casino at its calmest. No lines, no pressure, and far less competition for high-performing machines or your favorite table. With slower traffic, dealers take more time, slots cycle more naturally, and you make decisions without the noise of a packed room. The pace shifts from frantic to focused. Smart players love this window for a reason. Use port days for precision play, low crowds, high clarity, stronger outcomes. Quiet equals power. Right here is where everything you think you know about cruise casino odds gets flipped upside down. Because the numbers behave differently at sea. And the reason why is way deeper than people expect. 7. How the dealers really evaluate you, even if you never swipe a card. Here's something most players never realize. Even if you avoid the player's card, dealers and pit bosses still track your behavior. They quietly note your average bet, your rhythm, your patience, and whether you chase losses. None of this is personal, it's operational. Cruise casinos use this information to judge skill, risk level, and comp value. Your profile is built from observation, not from swipes. This surprises almost everyone. Play with calm consistency. Time plus behavior equals recognition, even unregistered. Eyes are always working. 8. The free drinks illusion, when they flow and when they freeze. On cruise ships, free drinks don't start when you start playing. They start when the casino decides you're playing enough. Bartenders watch bet size and duration, not just activity. Slow, tiny bets won't trigger anything, but modest, steady play almost always does. And if you take long breaks, the offers stall instantly. It's a perk system built on momentum, not generosity. Many passengers think the rules are fixed, but the reality is flexible. Keep your pace consistent. Steady action unlocks perks. Inconsistent action delays everything. Momentum wins benefits. This next insight can completely reshape how much money you actually keep versus how much you lose. And most players don't realize how fast this one factor can drain their bankroll. 9. What happens to odds during rough seas or high passenger anxiety? Imagine the ship rocking hard, glasses rattling, and half the passengers gripping railings while the casino stays strangely calm. Rough seas change player behavior more than the odds themselves. People bet faster, chase harder, and make emotional decisions simply because their bodies feel off balance. Dealers know this. The casino knows this. Discomfort creates chaos, and chaos creates mistakes. That's the real shift, not the machines, but the mind. When the ship sways, discipline vanishes. If the seas are rough, tighten your strategy, less risk, more intention. Stability beats impulse. 10. The first night trap that almost every new player falls into. My very first cruise, I walked straight into the casino on night 1 and made the classic rookie mistake. I played as if the entire trip revolved around that single evening. Almost everyone does this. They're excited, energized, and slightly overwhelmed, which is the perfect recipe for overspending. Cruise lines know the first night is prime time for impulse betting, so tables are lively, machines feel warm, and the atmosphere nudges you forward. It's a psychological kickoff. Start smaller on night 1. Less hype, more control, better longevity. Pace protects you. Almost everyone gets this wrong, and the casino counts on it. But once you understand what's really happening behind the scenes, your entire approach to playing on board will change instantly. 11. Cash versus card. On board, the invisible cost almost no one notices. If you want to protect your bankroll, here's a detail that matters more than people realize. On cruise ships, withdrawing money through your room card often feels convenient, but the fees and exchange conversions can quietly eat your budget alive. Cash feels harder to spend, card credit feels frictionless, and casinos know the difference. When the barrier disappears, your control slips. 2 payment methods, 2 psychological outcomes. One smart, one risky. Use cash whenever possible. Physical limits create emotional limits. Friction saves money. 12. The disembarkation day myth. Does the casino really tighten at the end? Does the casino actually tighten up on the last night? Or does it just feel that way because everyone is scrambling to use whatever cash they held back? The truth is more nuanced. Machines don't magically change, but player behavior absolutely does. People bet faster, push harder, and jump machines because they're trying to squeeze in one last win. That frantic energy creates the illusion of worse odds. The myth isn't mechanical, it's psychological. Treat the final night like any other. Slow bets, clear goals, zero rush. Calm beats urgency. By now, you understand cruise ship casinos on a completely different level. How timing shifts the odds you feel, how psychology shapes the bets you make, and how the ship itself quietly nudges you toward habits you never planned. Once you see the patterns, you can't unsee them, and that's the real power. Use these insights to gamble with clarity, not impulse, and your entire cruise feels calmer, smarter, and far more fun. Knowledge reduces risk. This video is for informational purposes only. It is not professional travel, medical, or financial advice. Always consult qualified experts before making decisions. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.